Good morning. Today I wanted to basically post a tribute to a good friend of mine who lost his life yesterday, Deputy Terrell Young. As a chaplain for the Riverside County Sheriff's Department, as a principal at Hope Learning Academy, I had the opportunity to come in contact with him on many occasions, and we had a friendship that blossomed, and we'd meet for coffee. My heart goes out to Marie and to their kids, and it's just a tragedy that um, we're coming to grips with the idea that this virus is going to touch people that are very close to us. And so when I was praying and thinking about how I wanted to honor my friend Terrell and his massive hugs and his laugh that was from the deepest part of inside of him. He could light up a room the minute he'd come in. His compassion, his ability to show up on people's worst day and understand it was their worst day, calling the sheriff's department for service and speak peace into their lives with accountability and with structure. And it reminds me of a story that I read in Scripture about how Jesus did the same thing in people's lives. And I have no problem just saying that Terrell was an amazing man of faith. And so the greatest tribute that I can give to him as a chaplain and as his friend most of all is to speak to his love for Jesus. And his love for Jesus was evident in everything that he did. I know he's very active in his church, but he would show up at the school, and he would attempt to meet kids where they were at our school, and he understood the purpose of our school and the meaning behind how we were trying to intervene in kids' lives. And so the greatest tribute is to relate, in my opinion, how his life also was a lot like Jesus showing up in the midst of a storm in his disciples' life. They had set out to cross the Sea of Galilee, and they were in this boat, and Jesus was tucked into the front of the boat and was resting. And man, they got into a bad storm, and things were probably they were scary enough that these seasoned fishermen were starting to cry out in fear. And Jesus stood up and he rebuked the storm, and everything was quiet, and they were all of a sudden at the other side of the Sea of Galilee. And man, this virus has gotten real, and it's going to continue to get real for these next couple of weeks. And a lot of people are going to be scared, and unfortunately, there's going to be loss of life, like my friend Terrell. And in the midst of that, though, Terrell is in the arms of Jesus right now. And I'm not just saying that as a cliche. He's literally in the presence of God right now. If there's the deepest grief that's going around right now is his grief that we're not with him, because of how wonderful it is to realize the truth and peace of what Jesus Christ accomplished on the cross. And so, real quick, I'm not going to make a long video today, but Terrell, rest in peace, my friend. And those of you that are listening to this, in honor of Terrell, turn to the same person that he cried out to and that those disciples cried out to when things felt like they were in a storm, and Jesus rebuked the storm, and all was well. All is well with Terrell's soul, and all is well with my soul because of the same Jesus that Terrell and I share. And you can turn in the midst of this storm. You can turn to the one who can bring peace and can bring stability where there is no stability. That can set your feet upon solid rock instead of the quicksand that we're all in. We don't know where this thing's going to go, but I do know, regardless of where it goes, that my God has a will for my life, a purpose for my life, just like he did for Terrell's. And I trust him and I love him. If you don't know Jesus Christ, the same Jesus that I know and that Terrell was outspoken about knowing, I invite you to relationship with him. And you can, right where you're at, you can just pray and ask Jesus to forgive you and to come into your heart and to take over your life, and He will. And if you do that, reach out to me. I'd love to talk to you. Again, I'm going to post in the comments of this how you could support Terrell's family during this. The Riverside Sheriff's Association has set up a link so that people can give to the family. And, we're grieving right now, and it rips our hearts out. But, man, there's a peace and a hope that we have that is real, not imagined, and that is manifesting right now, that is coming alive before us because our God lives. So I'm going to pray for Terrell's family. I invite you to pray for Terrell's family. If you want to ask Jesus to come into your life, do so. Let us know you did so we can tell you what to do next. And please do look in the details of this link here on YouTube so that you can know how to give if you're so inclined to do so. Until we talk again, please stay safe. Follow the guidelines for staying away from people, please, and be safe. God bless.